Okay, the national program that we have in China is a China Education Project, where we have donated $5 million US, which is 40 million RMB, to a 4-year education program to help China's education. And the very first out of the chute is the rural teachers training. The rural teacher training will eventually benefit about 3,000 rural teachers from Western China. We give them teacher training so that they learn modern skills and they can go back to communities in the mountains or in the rural areas, in towns and villages, which probably, frankly speaking, we probably won't have a Starbucks there for the next many years. But it doesn't matter. That's not the point. The point is to help out with, China has compulsory education, all the way through 9th grade. But there is no doubt that, as with many things in China, on the local level, the carrying out of that is spotty. And especially in the western regions, all help is always welcome. We also give scholarships. They just started this fall in teachers' colleges and rural students who are excellent students that have been accepted by teachers' colleges who cannot go to college, afford to go to college for one reason or another. They get some subsidy from us. We're providing materials for those same rural schools where the teachers come from. And then we're working on some anti-illiteracy programs in poor counties. So that's on the national level. And on the here's the rural teachers training here. The first one started in Chengdu about 3 months ago, and 500 teachers came from Ningxia, Sichuan, Chongqing, Shanxi, and Yunnan province. So they were there, to update their teaching skills. And you can see them intently here, learning, about, new teaching skills. And then we took them around town, and many of them, this is their first Starbucks coffee that they had. This was in Chengdu. If many of you, I don't know if you've been to Chengdu recently, this store opened up at the end of July. It's a Jingli store right next to the Wuhoushi. And you can see from the design, is actually a very interesting, a very comfortable, with Chinese characteristics type of Starbucks coffee store. And then we have our partners also participated by helping with the program. Now on the environment, environment is an important part of Starbucks CSR, and that's one where we're working quite hard. It is a challenge because we have all these stores. We use a lot of water. We generate waste. We use cups, and so this is an area where a lot of attention is focused on. And as the speaker said earlier, we pride ourselves on the CSR, but there are things that we are still got a long ways to go, and this is one of them. We're working hard at it. For example, on the cups, now we have it's 10% material that's recyclable, and we also give a I don't know what they do in Hong Kong here yet, but we also give a discount if you come in with your own porcelain cup. And not have to use the cup of the paper or the paper cup. And of course, in China, where most of the customers are actually sit-down customers as opposed to take-out customers, having them bring their own cup actually means quite a bit. Okay. Now that was the national program, but important as it is and impressive as it is with the $5 million US, in our view. Just as important is really engagement with local communities. So in China right now, we have, mainland China, we have almost 200 stores. Here we have about 60-something, in Hong Kong, 2 in Macau, and in Taiwan we have 100-some stores. In mainland China, we have almost 200 stores. And so all these 430 or so stores, we try to get them to volunteer, and it is purely voluntary. They don't have to do it. And they choose a local project, they choose themselves, or else the regional offices, try to brainstorm. And it really, we try to inspire the store owners to do their own CSR program. and we have matching grants from Seattle to match the voluntary effort on the local side. We try to have them develop relationship with local schools, and also we explore collaboration with local NGOs. As you know, of course, NGOs in China, that's a totally different subject that would take another day for a conference. And so working with NGOs in China is really very different than working with NGOs elsewhere. You have obviously international NGOs, but you also have a lot of local NGOs. And when we work with local NGOs, it requires a different type of cooperation than we're used to, say, in the U.S. or UK. And then we try to create some criteria for involvement. And then the last point here is something that we don't, the CSR and the CSR budget is not part of marketing budget. Okay, we have a separate because many times when when I was at the chamber, for example, when we did ask for money for sponsorship or whatever, we were always pointed to the marketing department, okay, or we're pointed to the PR department, okay. But in Starbucks' case, the money is controlled by the CSR people, okay. I control the budget for CSR for China, not the marketing person or the PR. Well, actually, PR person is me, but but it comes out of the CSR budget, okay. And so, and finally, CSR here, we try to provide a great work environment, for our employees, what we call partners. We try to have responsible procurement. I mentioned that, and we try to have environmental responsibility and leadership, and we try to be responsible to our communities. And again, this is our core value. We try hard, but we realize that there are things that we're not doing as well as we should. And perhaps the good news is that even in the areas where we don't do as well, we feel very guilty. So that's a good sign. That means that we're always seeking to improve. And again, we try to improve. We don't publicize this too much. We talk about it. This is nothing to hide in the closet. But we have to say that there are areas that we work on every day. China is a big challenge, and big market, of course, but big challenge. And CSR, as I said, part of Starbucks in general, and part of Starbucks in China.
From Dr. Wun's sharing, you can see what Starbucks has done to help facilitate China's education and promote environmental protection. Having heard from our two speakers, you should now have had a better understanding of the importance of corporate social responsibility and how it means to corporate governance of a company. This is the final episode of our corporate governance series. We hope that you find the discussions in these 5 episodes illuminating. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.